Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, we're going to be looking at the 7 steps. I know 7 is quite a weird number to use. 7 steps to making your first £1,000 on Amazon. It's going to be step by step for you. Now, make sure you are subscribed with your notifications turned on. Let's get into the video straight away. If you've been following the channel for a while, you're going to know that I'm pretty busy trying to move house. So I'm just going to give you an update on that. For anyone that is newly subscribed, I know there's quite a few of you, there's literally hundreds of you since I uploaded the last video. Welcome to the video. This is no longer going to be the place where I record. I also have all of my equipment in boxes, so I only have my iPhone to record. I literally have nothing, my laptop, my iPhone and some chargers. This used to be the room where I did my recording. My desk was right there. The desk is now there, and yeah, pretty much everything is gone out of the house. As you see, there's a bit more echo if you can hear that in the room. I've been moving all the boxes over the past few days into the new property. It's wicked. I can't wait to show you guys what it's all about. Like, my office is pretty much the same size as this hall downstairs, so I really can't wait to kind of kit it out and use it as a studio, get some lights and stuff like that. Also have a new car coming, which should be ready in the next couple of days, so of course I'll get some kind of vlogging out with that. But for today, I just want to go through really how you can start to make money on Amazon. And I've broken this down into 7 steps. So what I'm going to do is just sit down for a second and I'm going to take you through them. Now, the only reason I'm sitting down is because I need to rest my arm on something, because I'm not very strong, you see, so I need to rest my arm on something. But let's, first of all, let's just discuss a bit more about Amazon, just very briefly for those people that don't really understand what it is. So I'm going to talk about 2 things. The first thing is FBA, and the second thing is private labeling. So you need to understand what both of these are before we really go into the video. So private labeling is when you take a product, like a generic product, and you put your brand on it. So you'll see this all the time in loads of different shops. So for example, we've got over here, some diffusers, not what they call diffusers, like they smell good. What I could do is I could find a manufacturer of a diffuser and I could have it branded with my brand. And now that's called private labeling, and some other people call it white labeling, but let's just call it private labeling. So that's one thing you need to understand, that it's possible that you can go to manufacturers, mainly in China, and you can have your brand put on a generic product. The second thing you need to understand is something called Amazon FBA. So Amazon, as we know, is a massive company. It's a platform where people can basically buy and sell goods. FBA is something called Fulfillment by Amazon. That's what it stands for. And what it means is that me, as a seller of my private label products, I can send them into Amazon. They have big warehouses where they will actually, pick the stock, they'll package it and put it in their, the Amazon boxes and send it out to the customer and deal with customer service and everything that most companies have to do themselves. Now, the benefit of that is that, it's super passive, so you don't actually have to do anything to sell a product. I'm selling products right now as I speak. If I updated my Amazon app, I, probably would have sold a product in this time. I haven't done anything to do that, literally nothing. The only thing I have done is I've ordered my stock from China and have them send it to the Amazon warehouse. So again, I haven't even done anything. So it's super passive, super hands-off. Anyone can do it because it's not something you need a huge skill for. But also, there's 2 really important things. First, that it's outsourceable. Once you have your products up and running and you know the system, you know the process, you can actually hire people, from like the Philippines and stuff like that can actually manage your accounts, and they can do things for you. You can say, hey, can you just send a message to the supplier and do a reorder, and they'll handle it all for you. So you don't even have to do that, which is incredible. So it's very, very hands-off, and you can outsource it. But importantly, it's a business model that you can actually scale and sell. Now, this is really important. Some companies that is, say I was a plumber, for example, I am the plumber, and if I want to sell the company, then someone's only buying the customers, or the database, or they're buying the name, which is probably like your name. So it's not really a sellable business. Whereas something like Amazon FBA and private labeling, it has a value because they're your products. Your brand has a value, and you have inventory, again, which has a value. So it's actually a business model that you can scale, and you can have is what's called an exit strategy, which says, within 5 years, I'm going to sell the company for whatever, right? That's the exit strategy. Or if the turnover exceeds this much money, I'm going to sell it and move on. So you always want an exit strategy in business, because a lot of people, they just keep going and keep going and keep going, whereas actually you can get out and you can put that money into maybe a different investment, or you can do the whole thing again. So those are some really great benefits with doing private labeling in Amazon FBA, and there's other ways to do it, but let's go through the 7 steps now. So the first step, this is probably one of the most important steps that you need to be aware of, and I keep talking about this, but I've come across a phrase that I really like. I used it in an email earlier today, and it was be an opportunity hunter, okay? I think that's really cool, an opportunity hunter. And what this means is that when you're doing product research, and I have loads of videos about this, so I'm not going to go into the criteria of what products you need to find. There's so much information online about this, and I've got a lot of information myself. But you need to be an opportunity hunter, and what that means is that you're not looking just at the numbers, right, for a profitable product that will, sell 300 sales a month, and it will have under 50 reviews, or under 100 reviews, or under £10, or over £15, whatever it may be. You're not just looking at the product's metrics, but you're looking for the opportunity within the things like the listings, the bundling, the quality of the product, like the bad reviews, the price, everything about that product and that category. You're looking for the opportunity. So hunt for the opportunity and don't just follow the numbers. The second step to this is you need to repeat that process, and you need to fill your product funnel. Now, what do I mean by your product funnel? Okay, so let's say, for example, you start researching a product, you find the opportunity because you're an opportunity hunter, and you start negotiating with suppliers, and you do everything. You get to one point, you go, oh, actually, I'm not going to go ahead with this product. You then have to go back to step 1 all over again. And you might have spent 2 or 3 weeks doing that. It's going to put you back a long time. This is why people sometimes take a long time getting started with this business model, is they do one product at a time. It may not work because not all products work. They go on to and find another one, and they keep going through that process. What you need to do is fill your funnel. If you've ever been in sales, guys, you will know this, that you always have to work on getting new leads. And product research is actually the same. Think of it like sales. You want to get as many potential customers, and this is going to be potential products, into your funnel. Because you know that eventually a funnel goes down like that. I don't have both hands, but it goes down like that, and you'll get down to the point where you have your product. The more products you put in at the top, the more products you're going to have come out of the bottom. It's a numbers game. So if you want to find products quicker and you want to find more of them, then you need to find more potential products, but keep looking for them. So once you find a potential product, don't just put all the other ones to the side and say, well, I found my product now. Keep those ones going in the background as well. Keep, the research going, and eventually you're going to have, a handful of potential products, and you can choose which is going to be the best opportunity for you at that point in time. Step 3, okay, and this is super important. All of these are really important. They're very important. Step 3 is source by building a rapport. Now, if you know anything about sales, okay, I'm from a sales background, so hopefully this can actually help you guys. But if you're not from a sales background, this is going to really make a difference. Building a rapport is one of the most important things you need to do in any sales environment ever. Being able to speak to people and communicate with people is literally the best thing you could ever do in life. If you are not a good communicator, then you really need to upskill yourself in your communication skills, your negotiation skills. You don't have to be a presenter, like, talking on YouTube and stuff, but you have to be able to have a good written and verbal communication. And written communication is key when you're sourcing from your suppliers, because what you want to do is build a rapport with someone that's the other side of the world. They're a different language, so there's going to be a communication barrier, but ultimately they're a salesperson. They're trying to sell to you. So you need to understand that building a rapport with them is the best way, first of all, to them get what they want, which is, a good deal for their company, but also is for you to get a good deal for you, which is, a good deal for your company. And once you build a rapport, you are able to do that. You're able to talk quite frankly with your suppliers, but also they're able to like you and want to do business with you. Once a supplier wants to do business with you, then you're kind of winning, because you can lower minimum order quantities, which if you don't know this, guys, it's how much you have to order from a supplier for them to do business with you. They might say, oh, it's 1,000 units. And if you build a rapport with them, they will bring that down, okay? They just will. The same thing with the price. If you build a rapport, you can bring the price down. You can add bundles. Sometimes they'll do things for free, like all of the stickering and the barcodes. They might do like labels. They might do some like product inserts. They might all do those for free because they've built a rapport with you and they want your business. So the main thing with sourcing, when you're actually trying to source your product from somewhere like China, then you need to build a rapport with the suppliers. Like that is so important. Don't just go in there with like, what's your cheapest price? They're going to be like $5. And then you'll be like, no, I got it somewhere cheaper somewhere else. They'll be like, nah, it's $5. They won't say it like that, but do you see what I mean? Like if you go in there as a bulldozer, then you're not going to get anywhere. Where if you go in there through building a rapport, you will get a long way. Step 4. Now I'm going to coin this the RAF sequence, okay? Now this is to do with creating your product listing. Now I'm coming up with all sorts of stuff this time. Opportunity Hunter is like the best one ever. The RAF sequence, and many of you guys might know this, it's the Ready, Aim, Fire kind of technique or method. And the point of this is with your product listing. Your product listing is your storefront. Your storefront has to be immaculate. Your storefront has to invite customers into it and inspire conversions, inspire purchases. So what you need to do is you need to work really hard, right? You need to ready yourself for your sales, okay? And this means product photos. Product photos are 90% of the reason why someone will buy your product. So you need to research, okay? You need to really research other people's listings. Then what I like to do is I'll go through all of the best sellers and all the listings that I think are really good, and I'll take screenshots of their pictures, of the ones that I like, and I'll put them into like a collage, and I'll say, okay, if I were to have the perfect listing, which pictures would it include, or what features of these pictures would it include? And I'll write it down and have my perfect listing created with someone else's pictures. I wouldn't put it on Amazon or anything like that, but I would have it, you know, at home on a computer so I can just take influence from it. You may even want to go into different product categories. Different bloody hell. What am I trying to say? Different product categories. You might want to go into different categories to look at different products in, you know, totally different niches to see what works for them, and go for like ones that are super competitive, because it doesn't matter, right? Go for super competitive ones and see what they do to capture sales, because what essentially you need to do is recycle, not steal, recycle other people's hard work. So someone else has gone through the process, exactly what you've gone through, of seeing which pictures work best. So you're going to go and you're going to take all of their work that they've done and just copy it, okay? If you know, success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. So go and, you know, recycle what other people have done, not steal, recycle. You don't want copyright infringement. You just want to recycle. So that's getting ready, right? You need to aim. So that's getting all of your SEO done. This is so important, guys. You need to get your back-end keywords. Don't skimp on these things. So Amazon is a search platform. That's really what it is. They want to provide the best customer service to their customers. They want to provide them with the best solution for their customers at the best price, the best quality, best reviews. So the only way that Amazon know how to do that is by the SEO, so the actual words that you use in your listing, the words you use on the back end of your listing, they're called the back end keywords, and then your sales velocity, your sales, you know, your conversions, your reviews, and your, you know, your answered questions and stuff like that. So there's loads of different metrics and metric points that Amazon will use, but why would you go and create a listing that doesn't give Amazon the information that it needs? Because other people are doing that and they are going to beat you. They're going to win. They're going to capture the customer. You want to capture the customer that is coming to Amazon. Amazon they put a lot of money into advertising to get customers onto their platform. All you have to do is convert them. All you have to do is convert them. The hard work's done, right? Building the customer traction and the brand awareness, that's done by Amazon already. All you have to do is convert them to buy your product rather than someone else's. So you really need to ready yourself and create a product listing that is incredible, and that takes time. Don't do it at the last minute. Don't get your product pictures done at the last minute and just put them up in if you think they're like average. Spend time on them, and honestly guys, spend money on them, because that is your storefront. 90% of the sales you make is because of your pictures. So make sure you get it right. RAF technique, right? RAF technique. The fifth step, guys, we're cracking on now with the steps. The fifth step is that you need to launch your product. You don't just stick it on Amazon and hope people are going to buy it. Amazon, like I said, work through SEO, right? Search engine optimization. They are a search platform, but also they are a sales platform. So they are going to provide customers with the search results of products that other people are buying. if that makes sense, okay? So when you look at Amazon, you type in yoga mat, the top sellers are going to be the best sellers. They're not going to put someone up there that is making no sales, because they think, well, why would we show this product to our customer because no one else is buying it, right? It's the law of consensus. If other people are buying it, then they think other people will buy it. And Amazon want to make money, so that's what they do. So you need to get sales. And there's really, you know, there's a few ways to do this, but you can do this through PPC, which is pay per click, where you're advertising on Amazon, where you can, you know, when you search on Amazon, you type in yoga mat, the first few listings, they're going to be sponsored listings. So the people, the sellers are actually paying to be there if you click on their listing. Second thing is called a launch, where you actually give away a discount on your product. Now, this, you will have to be happy giving away a discount, and that's like 85 or 90% discount. But that means that you can get a lot of sales velocity, so lots of sales per day, which means you can bump up onto that first page. And once you're on that first page, if you have a good listing, then you should be converting, okay? If you launch properly, if you have a good listing, a good product, you're using PPC, you have everything set up, you should be making money. So launching is super important. There's other ways to do it through things like social media. You can spend all this time that ever since you decide that you're going to do the product, you can start building social media pages around your niche. So if it's yoga, you can build it around yoga, and you can create. You can create a website, you can create a Facebook page, you can create an Instagram page, you can create a YouTube page, YouTube account to, again, build an audience of people that are interested in your product that you can actually launch to when you release your product. And this is a great way to do it, and it's a free way to do it as well. So there's many, many ways to launch your product, but the only thing that you need to do is launch your product, right? If you don't launch it, it's not going to make any sales. You're never going to get to the first page. So you always need to launch your product. I would personally say do as much as you can to launch your product. If you have to wait 2 weeks to launch it, wait 2 weeks to launch it, rather than just put it on Amazon with no reviews, with no sales, no PPC or anything like that. There's no point, because no one's going to buy it, right? You need to launch it. Step number 6 is you need to build you need to build. After you've launched your product, you're not just going to then walk away and go, all right, this is done now, passive, I'm happy, I'm going to find my next product. You need to actually build that product so you can maintain your place on page 1, or near the top of page 1, or as Amazon's choice or the bestseller. You need to build it and continue to do that by getting reviews, more reviews, offering good customer service. You might need to maybe adjust some of your pictures, your titles, your bullet points, your backend keywords, your PPC. So there's so many things you can adjust to start building your company, to build your brand, to build your product. And again, that might go into the social media. But don't just launch your product and think, oh, I'm done now, I'm on page 1, I'm good for that. I'm good to just let that go. Continue monitoring it. And this is where you really need to monitor it closely, because you don't want to put all this effort into launching your product and then just kind of let it fall by the side. You don't want to do that. You want to maintain it, okay? So make sure you continue to build, and that even could be to the point where you're adding on things, or you're adding on a bundle, you're adding on like an extra ebook delivered to your customers. Make sure you have an email follow-up sequence so you can get more reviews, because you need more reviews. So make sure you continue to build after you've launched. The step number 7 is that you need to maintain, right? You need to maintain. So after you've built and you're established as a seller, you need to then maintain. And this is going to take less time than your building stage, your step 6, your building stage. But you need to maintain. So what I do every single morning is I will go through all my emails and stuff like that, but I will load up Seller Central, and I will just check in with my Amazon my Amazon account. So I'll go through to my seller feedback to see if there's any good or bad, reply to people. If not, I'll go through to my product feedback, I'll reply, or if there's anything I need to deal with, I'll deal with it then. I check my inventory, check I've got enough. I go through to my advertising, I check yesterday's report. I'll make sure if there's any adjustments I need to make. If there's an advertising campaign that's performing badly, I'll look into it a bit more. But just maintain. You don't need to put a huge amount of time into it. It only takes like 10 minutes a day, but just a little bit of maintenance. The same thing is like with suppliers. Every now and again, just send them a message, see how they're doing, see if they have any other little tips or anything they can add on extra. And of course, when you get to the point where you need to reorder, when your stock gets to the point where you need 30 days lead time before you can get your stock into Amazon, you know that you might, if you're selling 10 sales a day, you need 300 units in stock at least. So once you get to that point, you reorder. And that's just maintenance. And these things don't take time. Ordering, for example, I recently ordered 1,000 units, and I just sent one email saying, hey, can you send me an invoice for 1,000 units as, as we have done before. You know, the next day they came back to me and said, hey, here's the invoice. We've created the Alibaba order. I went and paid it that afternoon, and then I think a couple of days later or a day later, they've accepted the payment and they've got, you know, working on the shipment, and it's been sent now. So, you know, it doesn't take long to do those things. A few emails that you can do on your phone, right? You don't have to sit down at your computer for ages, but it's just maintenance. You know, if you don't do those things, then your business is going to fail. And all of these things, this is how you start to make, first of all, your first £1,000, but how you continue to make thousands of pounds continuously, because anyone on Amazon can make money, okay? It's not a hard thing to do. It does take time. It does take, you know, finding the opportunity. You need to know what to look for. You need to know the process, but it's not something that's rocket science. It's not like, I've started businesses before and they were a lot harder than this. You know, Amazon is actually one of the easier ones to start. You know, you don't have to go and speak to people in person. You don't have to sell to people like you do with something like social media marketing. You know, you don't have to build your own traffic like you do with affiliate marketing. It's a lot easier because the customers are already there. All you have to do is convert them to buy your product rather than someone else's. So that's really all you need to do. So hopefully, guys, let me actually just go through those 7 steps. First step is be an opportunity hunter. Don't just focus on the numbers, focus on the opportunity and find it and make sure you capture it. Step number 2 is fill your product funnel with as many potential products as possible so you have more options for products when you actually go ahead and want to buy one. Step 3 is source by building a rapport with your suppliers. Building a rapport is the only sales technique that you need to know. Step 4 is the RF technique, ready, aim, fire. This means that you need to put so much time and effort into your listing, into your, particularly your pictures, your titles, your bullet points, your descriptions, you know, your back-end keywords, everything about your product listing, your search engine optimization, put time into it, ready, aim, fire. Step 5 is launch your product. Multiple ways to launch your product, but make sure you put, again, time and effort into launching your product so you can get it to page 1. Step 6 is you need to build. So you don't just launch your product and let it fall away. You need to continue building. You can continue spending time on your PPC, continue experimenting with different pictures, titles, words, and all that sort of stuff, and continue to build your product. Step 7 is maintain. So every single day or every other day, whenever you've got time for it, just spend 10 to 15 minutes a day just checking in with that product to make sure you are maintaining your rank and maintaining your sales performance, maintaining your customer satisfaction. There we go. They are the 7 steps that you need to know to make your first £1,000 or $1,000 or euros on Amazon. Now, if you want to know the full in-depth strategies to be able to do this, then the first link in the description will take you to my full Amazon FBA course, and there's over 85 videos or something, which goes into every single step of every single thing you need to do. So if you want to go ahead and look at that, just click on the link and you can scroll down the page. You can see some testimonials, some video ones, and some screenshots of, like, you know, student sales and stuff like that. But if you do scroll down a little bit further, then you can see the modules of the course. So you can see every single video, everything that I cover, so that you can, you know, make sure that you know what you're getting. Of course, that comes with my personal support, which is what I spend most of my day doing, is just on my laptop, just kind of answering questions and stuff like that. And comes with my personal support and also access to my specialist, my FBA specialist consultant, which is invaluable sometimes. It's definitely worth it. It's actually worth the price of the course just to get that access. If you have any questions about it, let me know down in the comments down below. But also, I will be bringing some sort of vlog video to you sometime soon with the new house, which I can't wait to show you once it's kind of, you know, everything's in its right place, but also the new car, which I'm so excited about, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. As always, make sure you are subscribed with your notifications turned on, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.